Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Friday night. Are you rocking out with the relationship flow, sip and chat crew? We here. It's Friday. You see the missing chair, the little pink missing chair. Hopefully the big mic don't fall this week. Oh goodness. So it's Friday, Doc. We here. It's
Yeah,
November.
I know, right?
It's November. Like
And
the
not for long. Just a couple weeks, November will be over.
it be over. Right, right. I mean, because they really pushing the fact that the world is on pause with having stock and capacity to do stuff, but then they still talking about like it's gonna be some kind of shopping holiday coming up in a couple weeks, as well as the eating holiday, of course. But
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I'm PG-13. I mean, unless Daryl say something that make me have to go get, a different rating. I'm PG-13 with some cranberry juice. So,
Okay.
but it's a lot that can mix with cranberry.
Yes, yes. I'm sure you have some things in there that you can add to the cranberry.
There are some little glasses I could tap in situations I can make real quick.
Yes, yes.
So, how
A
you
little
doing?
more.
Right,
I'm good. I'm good. It was actually a pretty good week. It was busy, but it
right,
was good.
right,
Yeah, I don't feel all worn out and tired like I do on some Fridays.
right. Because you just
Mm-hmm.
like cannot get to Friday.
It might have been because I didn't have to have my early appointment this
That's
morning.
what it is for you. Yes. You was able to wake up on your regular type time.
That makes a world of difference. I'm just thinking about that right now. That made a world of difference.
And they chose a different day,
Yes, yes.
a
Well, not for
different
good. Just
time.
for today. Not for
Oh,
good.
oh, we
Just
gotta
for
celebrate
today.
this day then because
Yes.
you was able to sleep into your regular time. That means
Hmm.
you stayed up to your regular.
My regular, yeah, pretty much.
You
Pretty much.
ain't had to feel forced. So what you sipping on?
You know what? I have a lovely little Cabernet here that I've been saving. We talked about this before about not saving things, just
Mhm.
doing them when you feel like it. So I
Hmm.
was like, let me crack that. I was going to say, let me crack that joint, but
Like I make it
so
real,
basically,
real.
yes, let me crack that joint tonight.
But you
And
from Philly, you can say that. Crack that joint.
yes, yes. So it's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay, Sauvignon.
Sauvignon. Really nice, nice,
Okay,
nice, smooth.
okay.
Right.
That's always the trick for me because in selecting my cranberry juice, I was like,
Mhm.
well, I do have some bottles of wine, but am I going to drink it before next Friday? Because when you open a bottle, like you really got to go in. I was like, do I really
Okay, I like your philosophy.
feel like going in, or do I want to have a grown up just shot real quick? That's why I stick with the shots. You just do the shot and work it out, and you good.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it depends on your mood. Like if you want to, get there fast, you do do your little shots with the higher alcohol content.
They taste nice too.
Yes, they do. I agree. I know, some people don't like the taste of alcohol,
True,
but
true.
some things are really good.
Some things are
Depends
good.
on what you get. Yeah.
So I mean, since we're here and talking about it and letting Big Mike get situated for his check in, and we know he don't like the taste of. Well, I don't even know if he ever even know what it tastes like. But anyway,
Don't let me know.
so Doc, this is for you and the audience. 1800, right? They created a new flavor,
What?
black cherry.
Hmm. Okay. The coconut is good.
Coconut is good, but
I
black
wonder.
cherry is a nice cousin. It's a nice cousin.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to let you know. I had to let you know as a fellow 1800 cousin.
Yes.
Only thing, let me see. What will be 1800s cousin for Daryl? Let me see.
Green tea.
Water.
He said green tea. Green tea with a hint of some other kind of flavor.
Like mango or something.
Yeah.
Or ginseng,
Okay,
since he
got
be
it.
jumping around doing jumping jacks and what's some things called that people don't like?
Burpees.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly
knew
what
that's
I'm
what you was
thinking
talking
of.
about. I think everyone hates burpees.
Everyone hates them. Everyone. Until I guess they get accustomed to them. I don't know. I don't even think they get accustomed to them then. They.
I guess you do. And then you do more. And then it hurts. But you get used to doing 10, you do 14.
So would that be like, I'm going to say a college student, because of course nobody, in the seasoned wisdom years of like Doc and I would do this. But like, would it be like 10 shots of something?
I don't. I guess you can build your tolerance. I think people say that, you build your tolerance. So you get to the point where, it's like, so I see people do this sometimes, and I can't drink 10 shots of water. I don't know how people drink 10 shots of anything. Okay?
I don't know where 10 came from. I think you said it, and I just kind of roll with it.
Right.
I wouldn't subscribe to that at all.
But even 4 or 5, like I can't drink 4 or 5. I'll be full. I don't know how people do that. Drink all night. It confuses me. Like keep drinking and drinking and drinking. I don't drink that much in a day, so it's just confusing.
You drink that much water in a day?
I don't. My one deficiency is I don't drink enough. So I go through a whole day and really not drink anything. So I'm trying to get better at that. I'm always dehydrated. I just forget to drink. I just really do. I forget to drink. And I'm really trying to work on it. And that's why I drink green tea, because I'm not going to drink water. Water to me is disgusting. It's the most disgusting thing on earth. So I can't drink it.
The most disgusting?
Yeah, it's just terrible. And the only time I drink water, if I'm in a workout and I'm kind of, dehydrated, I'm thirsty, I can drink water then. Other than that, like just throughout the day, I can't. A water bottle lasts me all day.
You choose not to. It's not that you can't. You choose not to.
I can't.
You choose not to.
I try to, and I can't. It just doesn't happen. But the green tea, I do drink. I will drink that. A gallon of that, no problem throughout the day. But usually, I just forget to drink. So I'm trying to work on better because I'm always dehydrated, and that leads to other things because my kidneys are not flushing. So it's really bad that I do that. So
and your bones being locked up, like in the middle of the night, like the blood flow.
I haven't had that really. I haven't really got cramps yet. I get cramps sometimes when I'm working out from being dehydrated, but honestly, I haven't got Charlie horse or anything at night. But like I said, I'm trying to work on that. I just went and bought a whole bunch of tea now, so I can continue to drink.
All right. You said it's a party over here?
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can hear them.
We could at first.
Turning up.
We could until you put those headsets on. We can't hear now.
Oh, good. I try to, dampen it.
You probably turning the volume up or something, so we can't on your whole setup.
They turn their volume up a lot louder.
So, what we got for current events?
The only thing I have is the little girl that was missing in New Jersey that we talked about last week was found in New York City. They said she ran away. Okay. And she went to New York City, and she had actually stayed in a shelter somewhere, and someone recognized her on the street and called it in. So they found her. She's safe and sound, but they're saying she had run away. So no one snatched her, or there was no foul play. She took the opportunity when her mom sent her back out to go look for the card to get out of town.
So it was possibly the gentleman that they saw was her ride, like her Uber.
I don't know. They said that guy was
I ain't had to say Uber.
They said they interviewed the guy and he had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't remember who they said he was, but he did pay for her stuff. So I don't know. Maybe since she didn't have to pay for nothing, she took that card and bought her ticket to wherever to New York or wherever she was trying to get to.
Because she got the password.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
that But of course, during the course of her being missing, there was a lot of uproar about, the disparity between when a child of color is missing and a non-melanated person is missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, people were saying that they don't get the same kind of press. People aren't looking as hard, and so that was a little bit of controversy for a second during the time she was missing.
I mean, and it's even, if you driving up and down 95, which we know is a corridor for a lot of things, the transition, you don't see melanated people on the billboard. You only see people who don't look brown or black on the billboard. And, it's a lot of stuff that happens on that 95 corridor from as high up as Connecticut all the way through to Virginia, if not further. So I don't know.
It made me wonder it made me wonder if some of the mindset is, see, she ran away. The rest of them probably ran away too. They talking about we don't go and look for them, but they they don't want to be found. They're running away. Nobody's abducting them.
That's the narrative that's being created, like automatically. Yes. Yes. And why they're not so urgent. But I mean, like, people want to run away from life all the time. I mean, you and I experience that because of the work that we do. They're always trying to run away from life. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Current events?
What did I see? I saw something. See, I don't even want to bring it up because I don't know the whole story. It was something about an asteroid that's as large as City Hall. That's going to that's going to be. I don't know if they said it's going to be visible or if it's going to be not far from Earth, but it's nothing to worry about. So I didn't open it since they said it was nothing to worry about. I didn't even.
That's so tricky though. How is it nothing to worry about, but it's big? Like,
Big
anyway,
like City Hall. Oh man,
so much deception in the news. So much deception.
it really is, and most of the news, we talk about this every week. A lot of the news is negative, so you don't even want to talk about it.
Right.
You know, it's so hard to you got to troll and troll and troll to try to find some good stuff that's happening.
Because it's not really reported. It's not really reported, which is unfortunate. You got anything you're looking forward to this holiday season, since the world is a little bit open, a little bit scary open?
um, nah, I don't know. We were thinking about going away in December to go back to St. Martin. So I wanted to go back with my family because I was there with my best friend. So
Right.
I wanted to go back with my family because the family hasn't been there in a while. But I don't know. I think we may wait till the beginning of next year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that St. Croix is having their carnival starting back in December.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I heard that. I heard that.
What do their numbers look like?
I don't know. I don't know, but I know. Yeah, I don't know. I know the numbers were high where in Central America where I just was. So like, yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
Who would have thought that would be a question you have to ask before going somewhere?
Exactly. How about that? Embracing our new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Daryl, what are you looking forward to in these next couple weeks with the holiday? Yes, you.
What am I looking? I'm looking forward to.
Are you getting together with more friends and family? You usually have wild parties that you join?
I'll be doing something. I don't know what. I don't know what yet. But it'll be a lot of festivities that I'll be joining.
So that means that there's a lot of invitations that's been stated, some that you anticipate, and you have to go through the Rolodex to see which one gets the most points.
Nah, I just know it's a lot of things that's going on, and I'll figure out what I'm going to show up to when I show up to it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know what? That's a single person's response. Being live on the Facebook, like wanting to make sure that you don't, shout out the wrong side of the fence.
Well, no, because it's funny because no one's really definitively really said anything yet, right? Mm-hmm. No one's really. I know people are going to do stuff. No one's really said anything. No one said we're doing this, we're doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, well, when whatever comes up presents itself, then if I feel like going, I'll go. But no one's really even we haven't even said whose house is going to where we're doing whatever for like Thanksgiving yet. No one's really said anything yet. Mm-hmm. That's why when you said what I'm looking forward to, I'm like, I kind of forgot that it's coming up. Like I know it's coming up and it's closer than I think, but I really feel like it's further away than it is. And I'm like, now we really got to kind of get some plans settled on who's doing what, when, where, who's cooking, because we haven't really did that yet. We we generally, said, well, we're going to do something, but like I don't know exactly what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So like I said, once we figure it out, then if I feel like going, then I'll go.
Less than 2 weeks away.
I know it's a game time decision.
It's a what?
I don't feel like a game time decision. So I don't feel like being bothered. With all them people, like I don't.
It's too many questions to ask these days, like in regards to deciding if you're doing something.
I was listening to something, and they were talking about how they were like, "Well, you got to be vaccinated to come to Thanksgiving." You know what I mean? And then it's like, "Well, how are you proving that? Are you taking cards at the door?
Are you taking a temperature?"
Right. So how does that? But it's just it's a whole bunch of more hoops you got to jump through, or you have the people who like, oh, don't wear a mask, and this ain't real, and they're not really taking it serious. And I don't know if I want to be at their house. The people don't take it serious. I don't necessarily know if I want to show up to the non-serious people's house.
Right.
So,
and I think more importantly, from like being vaccinated or not, is a COVID test within 72 hours. Not, do you have it or don't you?
So I want to know if you got tested yesterday, because the 2 days after your test, you could be anywhere or doing anything.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you mean the 2 days? You mean the second you pull off from that test, somebody caught your face.
Right.
You got it. So my thing is, I think so. Even with like work and things of that nature, like we're going back in office, and are you vaccinated? But does that really matter? I mean, we won't. So technically, I guess with the vaccine, they said you won't die from it. You won't have the severe symptoms.
Your recovery is better.
You still got it, right? You're still hotter than a tea kettle. So my question is, when I go home to my daughter who is unvaccinated, she can get it. Or if we had 3 generations living in my house, my grandmother, she can get it. Or we go in someone's house and they have people, they can get it. And now we're walking around without any symptoms, and we're thinking we're good because we're vaccinated. And that's a false sense of So the vaccine kind of is a false sense of security in some circumstances, and that's my issue with it. It's not like it's a cure. If it was a cure, it'd be a different conversation that we'd be having. But it's just like, we're going to hide these symptoms from you. We're going to hide it from you, and you're going to walk around and you're going to give it to everybody else. So it's tough. It's really tough. Mm-hmm. So like you said, really testing yourself and getting that result, which by the time you get the result, you didn't caught it. But that's really the only way you get it. That's all you can do to save yourself.
Well, whatever people do. Some people are taking the vaccination as a green light to get buck wild.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's it. It's like
which is exposure city.
Of it. Right. Hey, I'm vaccinated. That means I can go out here and do what I want to do. Let me lick this window. No, you can't.
Lick the window, though.
Hey, people listen, they want to turn up. They want to show how strong their immune system is.
Because the window catch it all.
All
of it. All
I'm
of
good. No, you're not. You're not good. You're not good.
it. That's hilarious.
Guess what? There's other things out there to worry about as well. So you got your eye on COVID, now you caught something else. So you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to use this hot as a tea kettle somewhere else. I
Right.
like that.
Yes. Yes.
I like that. I know you probably just thought of it on the top of your head, but I just want you to know it's probably gonna come up somewhere else.
Gotcha.
So, any other current events or check-ins that we got?
I can't think of anything.
I'm staying away from current events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I'm staying away. Man, you inundated with the same type of thing, same type of stories.
We can select new stuff. We just gotta look different.
Well, I have to say you gotta look different, and I'm not looking. I'm not weeding through it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to read through the stuff to find it. So I just try to. I'm just doing different things. Different things.
All right.
So what are you doing? What are you looking forward to, Mary?
That's a great question because I really was gonna skip over me altogether.
Good job, Doc. Way to get it. Way to get it.
Yes.
I'm actually not looking forward to anything. The last few have been different and interesting. Thanksgiving used to be like the holiday that I cooked for and family came up for, and after we had like the great family shenanigans of the day, then it would transition into my birthday while family and I was all together. And yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not having a party per se. If anybody wants to invite me out, I'm accepting all invitations.
Okay.
But I'm not having a party.
That is such a single person thing to say.
What, that I'm accepting all invitations? It's true though. I'm a foodie. I like going out. I like, just doing certain things. So I might still say no because my mood has gone back and forth, like in regards to if I want to do the peopling or if I don't. So it's a big birthday, and I just I don't know how I feel or what it is that I want to do. I think I really want to be solo somewhere.
Right.
Because where I just went, it was a lot of A-type personalities, and it was a good trip, but sometimes I was like, okay, it's too much overfunctioning happening. There's too many alpha personalities. So yeah.
That sounds exhausting.
So it was. I was like, I feel like I'm at work for real. So I don't really have anything that I'm looking forward to, other than another year to be on this side of the soil and excited. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So thanks for including me in the question. I was trying to. So Daryl can call me out on the singleness.
Just throwing it back to you.
Just throwing it back. Sip and chat.
Right.
All right. So this evening, getting to the topic, getting to the meats and the potatoes of the thing, is talking about those things we call roles in a relationship. What are they? Why are they important? Who creates the expectations? And what's the non-negotiables?
Okay.
Relationship roles.
Okay. Sounds good.
It does. Because it's like you end up falling into positions, if you will. And I don't mean sexual positions. I just mean, the things that you do. Is it based off of your gender? Is it based off of your values? Does your practices with faith kind of direct what it is that you should and shouldn't be doing? If you shacking up with somebody, what it look like then? How does it transition into real relationships?
It's so crazy because I think over the last year we were able to see how much society is really influencing what your relationship looks like. We had different personalities that are telling men or women how they should act or how they should be, and you see people are really buying into it or may think this way, and now they're like, it's okay to think this way because this person is saying, this personality is also saying it. This is what it is, and you're really seeing people's relationships dictated by personalities and or ratchet TV.
Right.
Or ratchet music, because we didn't had a show about some ratchet music and relationship roles being defined. Right. Because people work out to that music, so it be like.
But it's something about a visual thing that helps you to really manifest that. Like, seeing people carrying it out, now it's easier for you to do it. Like, okay, so I see conflict resolution is cuss them out, throw a glass, try to fight them, and hopefully somebody breaks it up. That's how it's like, that's how it goes down. And it's, there's a lot of, again, I think we kind of said it before, there's a whole bunch of negative type of stereotypical roles that, people are starting to fall into and continuing because they're getting that reinforcement by seeing their favorite, stars or role models, whatever, doing this nonsense. It's way less of the Huxtables these days. You don't have too many positive roles on TV that you can really, that you can look to for like, oh, okay, that's what it should look like. You don't see that much. You see chaos and, turmoil, and something has to always be going wrong. You're always coming back from something that's terrible. And not even like little things like terrible. Like you had 3 babies, not just one. You got 3 babies.
3 babies, 2 daddies.
Right. It's just crazy, So.
Or the daddy got 3 mommies.
It's
and they 6 months apart or 2 months apart. Like you was really dipping and dodging for real.
Right. So,
for real.
Right. And
what Lil Wayne say? I got 3 sons. They all 3.
Right.
He was dipping and dodging. That's the exact example of what I mean, a dipping and dodging.
Hey, I was out with my peoples as he's leaving the one girl house. I'm on my way over.
Talking about, can I just put the tip in?
Oh no, he put the whole thing in. He said he's gonna put the whole thing in. He said he was gonna put the whole thing in. I'm gonna put the whole thing in,
They just with it. They are just with it.
They are.
Yes.
And that's so it's funny because we talk about one side, but on the other side, why are the women accepting this? Why are you allowing this to happen as well? Like you saying, like he's coming over and he's doing this, but like, come on, gang, you kind of know what you're getting into, or you should, and stop thinking that you're so special that he's going to change for you. Please stop thinking that, women. You are not that special. All right. Just not.
Dara said you are not that special.
You're not. I'm just trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Because it has to be something for you to believe that this man is going to do something different for you, right? So you must really think highly of yourself in the wrong way. Because I'm like, you lying. Like you got to show me something more than you coming over here at 3 o'clock in the morning. That ain't really showing me you got me. So it's 2 people involved in this nonsense that's going on these days.
And it's interesting that you say 2 people are involved, but it's really probably way more than 2 people, because your visual, as you said, people need the visual of how it is that they learn or identify with what their role is, starts from what they see in the living room, and starts from where they see, growing up. And then they say, okay, this is how we do this. Okay, this is how we don't do that. All right, this is what auntie, grandmom, all the women did. This must be what I'm supposed to do, whether it's to the best benefit or detrimental. So it's like, when do you decide to break the cycle to do something that has wellness connected to it? Or what is wellness?
And a
lot of times you don't even realize that you're repeating those cycles until someone brings it to your attention.
Which will be in
control.
Yes.
You're on cruise control.
Yes. Your family of origin, kind of dictates a lot of things. And for people who are conscious, they might say, well, I'm never going to do this, or I'm not going to be like that. But when stress enters at your relationship, and you go on automatic pilot, you will find yourself doing the same things that you saw.
But I'm seeing a lot of, maybe the family just wasn't there, didn't provide direction. So this person is learning direction from, their experiences.
Yes, yes.
So they may not be doing what their parents did or whatever they do, but the parents didn't do enough to give them any identity on how to do things, right? Maybe even as far as what they were modeling, maybe they weren't president, I don't know, whatever case may be, but they're just picking things up again from their friends and things like that. And when you're learning from your friends who are broke, you're gonna be broke. You're learning broken ways. You're gonna be broke too.
The blind leading the blind.
Oh, absolutely.
But you comfortable though.
Yes, yes.
But you're comfortable because you don't know you shouldn't be comfortable, right? So if everybody's on a roller coaster, this is what it should be. This is the roller. I thought we were supposed to be on this roller coaster. So you're just doing what you know. And that's a lot of times we're just doing what we know. And I feel like something has to come in and help you change. There has to be something, a defining moment. Something happens that hopefully when you come to that fork in the road, you're like, look, I can't continue down that road. A lot of times they continue down that road, but you have to find something that really changes you. Change your outlook on things.
Very true. Yeah, I think what you said is important. Is usually a defining moment.
Right.
Something happens, and then they're like, maybe I need to go to therapy and talk to somebody about this. Or, you go back to what you know.
Or you go into survival mode because being, I don't want to say that. Being uncoupled, that's what I'm going to say. Being uncoupled is probably not what is a norm for you. And you've never seen anybody take what is a nice breathing room in between one relationship to the next. So it's like, what is breathing room? How do I sustain? And like, just how am I created? I was having a conversation with somebody today that was suggesting. So this is third-hand information. So don't nobody say that Mary May made this up. No, but that was suggesting that people who are not brown and melanated are envious of the melanated women because we're able to successfully be independent and on our own. Whereas, and the person had the understanding that the reason we're able to do so successful and being on our own, they thought we were raised that way, or that's what we were taught. And so the person in the conversation was saying that's not what we were taught. We were taught to be in a committed relationship and be, coupled with our partners, married and all of that. However, things like slavery happened that broke our families up, or other things that happened before slavery that broke our families up based on currency and how to live. And if the one partner is removed from the home for whatever reason, the woman has to step up to the plate. Whereas from the conversation, it was stated that the reason, I don't want to say white people, but the reason other cultures, I'm going to say other cultures, tend to marry
white people, but white people.
If Camp was here, Camp would say it. I don't necessarily want to say it. But the reason they marry so early is because that's what they're told to do, and that the man is going to do everything, and that they would be taking care of the home. And so like that narrative, one, is broken and not necessarily true, but that they're envious of us because we're able to do it in the absence of having a partner. Like we put a flag on and said, that's what we want.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I don't know if I really agree with that. But
I didn't say I agree. Remember, I said in the beginning, it's not the Mary May.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, for me, I don't really understand that, because I think, melanated women being independent is a curse to me. because they had, like they had to do it because lack of the male presence. So it wasn't a choice at all. It was, I have to. If I don't, then this is not going to get done. I don't eat. Kids don't eat. So I don't think
the lights don't stay on.
Right. We can't survive if I don't, because of what happened. Our history, we not really ever stood. We weren't given an opportunity to stand by each other. Into present day, I think that's why we have so many issues, because it's just not something that's natural to us, because it was almost conditioned out of us. So now it's a learned innate, and the Black woman has to step up and do a lot more than most. So I don't know if anybody's jealous of that.
But then a part of that conditioning, I think, becomes the challenge where people have the conversation of saying, okay, I need to go to therapy, or have a third person kind of point out this legacy that I'm living through, and not knowing is, oh God, where was I going with that? It's like, you don't know that. Oh, no, when you try to establish a relationship, you have to undo all of this control, or all of this being responsible for everything to create that balance. And so, like, in trying to create that balance, the reason you have so much difficulty is because it's never been demonstrated to you how and what it should look like. So the roles that you have is Hollywood housewives, or whatever those shows are called. Y'all know I don't look at it.
And I would think it just feels so unnatural too to give up control, right? Because if to give up that control, where it can lead you if it goes the wrong way. And it's really difficult for you to not have that control. And I think from what I see, and I talk to different men, that's where the issue comes in. Because now you have two men in the house. That's how they feel, right? Because she's been doing it by herself for so long, right? She don't need you. She's been doing it. She knows how to do it. She can throw the trash out. She can change the tires. And she's been doing it for so long that now for you to come in.
So why it gotta be two men in the house?
Right. Like what?
Instead of a man and an independent woman. Why gotta be two men?
Roles, right? Well, we're talking about roles, right? If we're talking about roles, and we're talking about traditional roles, let's be honest. So if where's the space for a man? If we're talking about roles, if man's supposed to be the one that does all, I'm supposed to go change the oil.
I think that's false.
Trash out.
Yes, I think that's a false.
We can say it's false, but we're talking about what normal.
We're not normal.
This is what,
okay.
We
abnormal.
You're not. Yes, I said it's already not. Okay, we're not gonna pull no punches tonight. So, but again, it kind of goes back to what we feel a role is. I think a lot of men don't know what their role is, and they think their role is control. Like they feel like being a lead.
There you
is
go.
Control, right?
There you go.
We actually agree with Daryl tonight.
Yes.
But then again, the woman don't want to give up control. So there's the problem. Therein lies the control. You have two people trying to vie for control in a home. And I think that's a problem in a lot of relationships. I'm talking about from what I hear from guys talking about, like, yo, she like a dude, like she does. So, and they don't understand.
She like a dude because she know how to take care of herself.
But she could really just be showing you what it is that she wants, so that way, when you choose to step into the shoes fully, and she can trust that you're gonna follow through, how these shoes, what it is that I like.
No, that's what you're saying, but then they don't give up that. They don't allow a space for a man to be whatever you say you want him to be, right? So if you don't allow him to have a space to. But we're not speaking about everybody.
No, you know what? I do. That does happen. That does happen.
Thank you, Doc.
It does. It does.
So there's no space for that man to be what he feels is a man. Okay? Hey, bye. Okay? No, I'm just saying. But it goes back to those.
I'm leaving.
The role. If we're talking about the roles or the man and what he feels a man should be, again, this is where I think men have issues, because I think that, like I said, a lot of men think it's control. I think that if you're in a relationship, you want to bring the best out of your partner, right?
Yes.
I feel like if she's the better at paying bills, don't be like, well, my man got to pay the bills and now y'all lose the house. If she's the better, let her pay the bills. If she's better at changing the oil, let her change the oil. Like, if you're better at cooking, let you cook. You make the best decisions for you guys to win. You guys put yourself in position.
Right, and stop saying because I'm a man, I got to do this, or she a woman, she got to do that.
Well, so women have to stop saying that because see, when we start talking, when we meet you guys from the beginning, you talk traditional. You want us to take you out to eat. We have to pay for dinner, right? We have to open your door. So you're saying we want a traditional relationship from us. But you don't want to be traditional. You want to do other things. You don't want to be that traditional woman who was barefoot and pregnant at home, and I was making the money, and you was coming home eating these shoes. You don't want to be that, but you're still wanting to reap some of those. Only if you can.
Relationship. But I think Mary raised an important point too, though. We have to be able to trust. We have to be able to trust that we can follow you. Because I saw a meme about that. You know, men want you to follow, but you follow him to the poorhouse.
Here you go. See, this is the problem.
Or to the morgue, or to
once again, you're blaming that man for your bad decision. If you pick him, then you follow him. Don't pick him then. If you don't think you can follow that man, you shouldn't be with him. So if you're with a man like I can't really follow him, so I'm not going. Right. So I'm not going to let.
We should be side by side. Why
Time out. I'm answering Doc's question. She said, and women say they don't want to follow. So I'm saying, if you pick a man and you can't follow him, then that's the wrong man. see, and this is why we can have this real conversation. Okay, these are real conversations.
It is a real conversation.
If you pick a man to be your leader, right, the leader of your home, or however you're doing it, say that's how you're doing it. Say we're doing that's the role, the man's gonna lead, or whatever the case may be.
That sounds like some values being forced into the conversation. But go ahead.
Okay, what's roles then? What are roles?
No, go ahead. Girl, I just want
to. What are roles? So I don't know what roles are now. We need to define roles because what are roles?
No, go ahead with what you're saying, Daryl. No, go ahead.
I can't go because I don't know what rolls are. I was talking about biscuits. I brought up biscuits. My fault.
You know what?
So what? Again, what are rolls? Like when we're talking about, like we'll say like quote unquote traditional roles. What?
Right.
What are we saying there? What are we speaking about? Are we talking about traditional roles being two people that are equal in a relationship? Is that traditional? I'll wait. No answer. Okay. So, is it,
I think because I don't like the word equal, so I'm not going to answer.
I think how society defines traditional is what you said.
That's what I'm going by. That's what we're kind of going with. What kind of the outlier. When we look at relationships, they kind of have it this way, right? Very patriarchal. I understand, but I'm saying that's how it's viewed, right? If we go for most people that ask. They'll say like it's the man, kind of supposed to be the head or lead or whatever, however you want to not use the word, term it, and the woman is supposed to follow or go by his side or whatever, however you want to term it.
Partnership. Let's have
That's why this is an important discussion before you get married.
Right.
This is definitely an important discussion before you get married.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the problem. You should have this down. Like if you're talking about I don't know if I can really follow my husband because then he should have been your husband, boo-boo. That's your fault. You didn't have to say yes. You could have said no. So
the chandelier moment was the best.
So that's good. So now if you base it off the chandelier moment, you get what you get. Now you stuck with it.
Daryl said it's all your fault.
It is all your fault. We got to stop blaming other people for our decisions. So if you make a decision and picking someone who's not what you want and not what you can, why are you doing that? Right? Have some more value in yourself.
Can I tell you why people would do that? Let me go to why people would do that. They would be like, their girlfriend said, oh, he drives this car. He make this amount of money.
Right.
He can provide this, that, and the third for you. Not talking about emotions and the reality of the day-to-day at all. They're strictly looking at the frame of the person and how it's going to make you look out in society. So it's the best partner ever.
Right.
And then you find that yours.
Yeah.
You get.
And you find out he make this and make that, but he don't want to share it with you.
Right. So, and I think this is why we have to stop using that view of relationships that we just, the standard where it's a man and we're just looking for the wrong things, right? That's the whole thing. Our roles are skewed. What we're looking at is skewed, and we're looking for the wrong things. We need, like that, we need to really find out how this relationship is going to work. You know, what do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? You need to know from the rip. So you want me to do what? Oh, I don't change tires. I ain't doing that. Okay, well, they ain't gonna work. So you need to know in the beginning, you know, what it is, you know, what they expect from you and what can you bring. And that's a big question, because I see a lot of programs now where men are asking women, what can you bring to the table? Like, what are you bringing?
But you know, I think people still answer that question from a superficial surface level and don't really peel back the layers of who they are at the core, because they don't even know who they are at the core.
So, but that's what's happening when the women are answering this superficially. They're like, no, I don't need that. I can get a maid to do that. What do you bring? Right? And you know, you rarely seldom hear anything that's really emotional, or, you know, it's all like, well, I can cook, I can clean, I can raise the kids. Okay, cool. I can do this too. What else can you bring? If you're asking me to be the head and, you know, be the, you know, I'm making 90% of the income and I'm taking 10% of, you know, all this, what are you doing? So these are real life conversations that people are having or need to have.
Or missing.
They don't have them. They're not having these conversations.
They're not having them.
No, they're not. Like you said, they're seeing, oh, he got a good job, or, you know, she got a fat butt.
Or my clock is ticking. My clock is ticking, so I gotta hurry up and get coupled and have a baby.
Yeah.
And even when people say, you know, I love him or her, like that's all you need. That is not all you need.
That is not all you need.
That is not all you need.
Because that love can become real arbitrary with a rough patch.
Love don't keep the lights on. It's love. Love ain't put gas in my gas tank. Woo.
Love talking about they want dinner on the table and whatever thing they gonna complain about.
Right. You know, so
and when you don't have these conversations, that's when a situation like that can be a major issue. You want me to put dinner on the table? Why do I have to do it every night? Why can't I come home and you have dinner on the table? These are some of the conversations. I'm here, right? That's your role. But I didn't say I wanted that role.
Well,
or to cook, clean, and work an 80-hour week. Like what?
But see, this is the thing. Once you start doing something, it becomes habit. That's what you do. And the problem is, if I'm married now to you and you've been doing this, now you're talking about you don't want to do this. You've been doing it, right? So it's kind of like, well, I'm just asking you to continue to do what you've been doing. But it's
like working for the government. Once you take on an assignment, it's yours.
It's yours. It's yours. Get that away. I can't change it. You've been doing that.
Oh gosh, she said like working for the government.
City, state, or feds.
Right. So, and that's a problem too. Like once you start doing things, once you start doing things, it becomes expected. So you have to, you know, realize if you're not going to do this every time, let them know, like, look, I'll do it today, but I ain't really doing it tomorrow. Or, you know, have a conversation about, well, again, I don't know, if you keep doing it, that's your job. You didn't pick it up.
And that's the problem, because men and women take on roles and do things to get each other.
Right.
And then once you got each other, you start talking about, well, I'm not doing that no more.
Hey, why is there pizza on the table? You know, ain't no dinner tonight. I mean, you done cooked every night for 3. Now we married. There's pizza on the table. What's going on? I don't like pepperoni. You know I don't like pepperonis. You even got pizza wrong. Like, you know, like what's going on?
And then that be the fake argument, because that ain't even the real argument. The argument is something that happened before the pizza got on the table.
I don't know. Pizza might be the start of the argument. It might be the first thing. You ain't make pizza. Why the pizza? You cook every night. Where the food at?
At the daggone grocery store.
Right.
It's at the grocery store. Did you
But
order?
that's the argument. The argument. The argument is that roles are changing. That's the argument. Roles are changing, and I don't know why.
The argument is two men in a conversation because you talking about the groceries in the store. See, you don't.
Why does that have to be a male identified person though?
Well, if you talking rough and tough like a dude, then I think you do.
But I've been a rough and tough grocery store. But I could have been a rough and tough diva the whole entire time. But now that I didn't show up the way that you wanted me to by having this box of pizza on the table, now I gotta be a dude. I went a dude.
No, what I'm saying is that if that response was a new response that caught me off guard, if you've been doing that, then I know you do that. I knew you was a man beginning. Like I knew you was gonna talk to me like a man in the beginning.
I should have known he was only gonna clean this up to make it the same thing.
You know what I mean? I knew he had man tendencies anyway. But like if it's a new conversation, like I don't think but I do believe you have to get that argument out first to know what it looks like to see how we argue. Because you need to know how people argue. That's the other thing too. You don't want to have someone argue with you the way that you don't want to argue with you. You know what I mean? So you need to. That's something I think we need to know too. How do we argue? People have a good time. I need to get to an argument. I'm sorry. I need to know how you act.
But yeah, if you don't have this conversation, all the things that, and we talked about this before, all those things that were cute in the beginning are now driving you crazy. And you don't like this, you don't like that, but it was okay before.
Right.
You showed me that this was the role you like to be in. So what's the problem now?
I agree. I know people time and time again will accept things they really don't. Like, I don't really like this, but then down the road it wears on you. And you're like, wait a minute, I've been doing this for years. Now you want to tell me to stop doing whatever it is? That's crazy. I mean, like I had a side joint for 3 years, you know about. Now I gotta stop. Like, what are we doing here?
Because we got married.
We got married, so we just automatically assumed that you knew when we walked that you could have her until we walk down the aisle, and then we walk down the aisle. You're supposed to break up. Don't invite her to the reception. Don't invite her to none of the situations. Like it's supposed to be automatically broken up.
Once you become the role of husband, these things are supposed to change.
Is that the role? Because I think that whatever you were doing before, you're gonna keep doing afterwards.
Heck no.
Marriage is the cherry on top.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
The relationship is the relationship. The marriage don't change the relationship.
If you don't have the conversation, you're absolutely correct. It's going to continue to happen the way that it was happening. But you need to have the conversation that, okay, you're going to have your bachelor's party. You're going to have all these other situations. And that little side joint chick that been pulling up in the driveway, checking my car out and stuff, she going to need to go. Come
I still got this bird seed.
Hey,
bird seed to give out.
You got bird seed to give out.
Cause bird seed is chicken boy. I got bird.
Well, then we might need to change the date and let people know they gotta change their flight and itinerary and everything, because if we gotta change the date of the wedding so that you can get these bird seeds out, you do the last couple drips and whatever.
But people don't have that discussion. They get married thinking that these things are going to change.
That you just know.
But some people, even in themselves, I know, like some of my homies that got married thought that was going to be a cure for the bird seed. Like they thought the bird seed was just going to go away and they was going to stop. They wasn't going to use it no more. Like, oh, get married, I ain't going to use that bird seed no more. It ain't changed anything. You still out there doing the same thing, right? And it's crazy.
And you attract what you attract. Like if you've been attracting having a side joint or this other lifestyle that doesn't fuel your relationship with your partner now, then yeah, definitely. Like until you make the decision and actively put strategy in place, that could be therapy, could be whatever else you might need to say you're not going to do these things again. Like that's
but a lot of times you can rationalize and say they accepted it all this time. So why should I change?
Hey, we live in a delusional world and we lie to ourselves, right? That's what we do. That's a great thing to do. Lie to yourself to make it okay.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing it. Why not keep doing it?
Yes,
We
yes.
we married
It
to the
was
game
working.
now. Now we married to the
We'll be like,
game.
this is a
Married to the
business
game.
transaction.
We married to the
Married
game
to the
now.
game.
It's official. We officially with the game. Yeah, I mean, but again, I think that's the other thing too. We have to ask people like, what does marriage mean to you?
Yes.
Because we're talking about marriage
yes.
things of that nature, and
yes.
it definitely
yes.
can mean something different. We
yes.
can be talking about the same thing, but definitely not looking at it the same way.
Yes.
We may apply marriage very differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, so other than finding out what your definition of marriage and what marriage actually looks like, also ask yourself, why do you choose to have blinders on the things that make you uncomfortable? Like, why don't you want to work through whatever that is so that you don't no longer have to have that insecurity or unresolved questions or, doing what you been doing forever?
Right.
But it's easier to ignore those things
Absolutely.
and pretend that, they're not happening.
Right. Because you don't want to be the wrong person or the lonely person or the
right.
Right. Perceived lonely, because you may not actually be lonely. You might, because you could be married and still single. You just have the whole contract and your relationship is broken.
Right.
So
right.
Very
right.
True. I know some married single people.
I do too.
Some married single people.
Yes.
Hilarious.
It's
true though, Daryl, for real.
Right. I bet it. I know it happened.
And it's like, why? Why did you get married?
Right.
Because the other person wanted to, or the reasoning is
for a long
ridiculous.
time. We might as well.
Yeah, we've been together for 10 years.
Right.
And y'all say, why does it change after you go down the aisle after 10 years? You should have kept it the way that it was.
Mm-hmm. But you don't want your family and friends to keep talking about you being engaged for 10 years.
But then that's when you get married for the wrong reason. Because they ain't paying for that $35, $45 plate at the reception.
Ain't gonna talk about you like a dog throughout the whole thing. So they don't care. They don't care.
Everybody has their job.
Thanksgiving. Right. That's give you something to talk about at Thanksgiving. No, he's cheating, right? No, he's cheating, right?
Yep.
Ain't no damn good. And she's staying with him. She's dumb as hell.
Yes.
Ain't nothing better than some good gossip with the sweet potato pie. Like, what? He's still cheating?
And then, like, culturally, why is that good gossip? Like, why can't we have the conversation of being right or wrong, weak or strong? Okay, if your friend is having some concerns, like, let's have a I can't say that, but let's just have like a real talk conversation. Like, like a real talk, like, sis, like let's, after this holiday, let's all get together and have a retreat or something.
Because she gonna block all y'all.
Who want to be that vulnerable?
Block all y'all.
Who want to be that vulnerable? People don't want to be vulnerable. Right.
They don't.
They'd rather be lie and smile through the pain than really get help. And again, this is that we have that that ratchet mentality. This is what we see. Nobody on shows are really talking about their issues and really getting to the bottom of it. Even in therapy, they turn up. Like, hey, that's in therapy. Like, that's not what therapy looks like.
Sometimes for therapy, I be thinking I'm gonna be in this nice little calm, we're gonna resolve some conflict, and then they come with the movie. I be like, well, where is the popcorn? Okay, I've been waiting for this conflict to happen. Because we can grow in conflict. Like, we can grow by having those uncomfortable, vulnerable moments. But it's like, do you really want to live life like on your own terms, and like it be a full life? Or do you still want to live the legacy for people who are not really in your relationship with you?
I think the latter. A lot of people go for the latter. It's all about appearances.
People pleasing.
Hey, everybody out here, most people faking it till they make it. Right.
Yep.
And there's never they're just faking it. They don't never make it. They just use bad relationships, faking it, unhappy, mad, upset. And like I said, and I think people are, trapped by friends and family and gossip, and that allows you to stay in these terrible relationships where you're not happy and you're just wasting valuable years of your life in something that you might be able to get out of and find your true happiness. Maybe find your true you. Maybe find out who you are. But you just stuck. Worry about what they did.
That just like kind of that made me think about and this is like all the way back in the early 90s when I was engaged to this person and my mom was extremely sick, like extremely sick. And my girlfriends rallied around me and said, girl, you need to move that wedding date up and you need to go ahead and have some children so your mom can experience it because you don't know how much longer she's going to be here. What? Y'all tripping. Like that's just made me think of, how friends will rally for you and say the different things. And I was just like, yeah, nah, y'all tripping. And the other part is they didn't really know what my experience was behind closed doors either. So
right. Because they think they're helping you out.
Right. No. And my mom lived for like another 15 years after that. Or it could have been, I don't know the number for real, but like she lived like a whole bunch of years after that. But if I was that friend that needed to people please not only the world, but whatever, sheesh. That person has been married 4 additional times.
Oh, dang.
Right.
And not saying to himself, it gotta be me. It must be me.
It must be me.
It ain't never them. God,
never.
These 19 people all wrong. I don't know what's wrong with
them. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And Philly is so big and so small all at the same time.
It really is.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Crazy. I dodged a bullet. Thank you, Creator. I didn't get a chance to officially say, hey, Ruth.
So how do you have that discussion? Because Mary, a lot of times when people come to us, they already in the midst of a mess.
A whole
and so how do you and when do you have that discussion so that you avoid needing to have some interventions later on down the line?
Well, I think we have to go a little. I think we all need to learn how to have that discussion, especially in our melanated community, because it's not something that's commonplace for us, right?
Right.
It's not something that we really know. So I think that anyone would benefit from learning what a healthy relationship looks like, how to talk about your feelings without feeling like you're hurting another person. You should be able to say what you need to say. You shouldn't be afraid to say anything. And then learning how to say it. So it's not like, well, you make me, and it's your fault. Like, you got to find a way to effectively communicate. And I think that's something we need to do in our relationships, because like I said, there really are you don't see any positive images on TV or anything where we're getting anything anymore. They really took that little piece away from us. So we used to have little things where they were positive, but there's not really much. This is us, like, their family is great. But other than that, there's not many, just nowhere to go. So we really need to start just having people understand, like, well, we have to talk and understand what a relationship is and what it should look like, and who we are. And before we even get in a relationship, we need to know who we are and what we want. Like I think a lot of times we get like relationship and only expecting, what kind of job do they have? Can they support this? Can they do? And those things that are really, again, at the end of the day, are superficial. I mean, everything can go away. Everybody can lose the job. Everything, world will shut down.
Look at the pandemic. People, it changed everything for a lot of people.
Absolutely right. And now you have to look at, it's other things that are really more important than how much money you make. Right. There's other things.
What car you drive.
Right. There's things that are really more important than that. Right. Because if I get sick, are you going to be here for me? Or are you going to have me in the hospital? Are you going to be up here every day trying to help me through this, right? How much support are you really going to give? It's different things that we should be looking at, but we're so materialistic here, that's what kind of, like I said, a nice car. Like, we know if we got a nice car, you girl. See,
what I mean? That could change though with a missed paycheck.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's so it's or even if you got a bad car, you got a nice shirt on, might get a girl. Little class.
Oh gosh, or we took to a nice restaurant or a nice vacation, something like that.
Right.
Really?
Right. So that's it. You know, we got to find what really makes us happy outside of monetary things. So we got to start there, and I think we need more. Because again, I know I never heard anything like this growing up. You know, you just kind of heard like, you know, you open a girl's door and makes you pay for everything, and you give her this, and you buy her gifts, and you bring her flowers, and that's how she's happy. When you do all that, she's happy. Like they're not happy. It's not working. Something's missing. I do that, but something else is missing. You got to talk to them. You got to get to know them. You got to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? And that's definitely. I have never been told to be vulnerable. You know, growing up. You know, that's not enough. No, you don't do that.
Well, that's not a role for a man.
Absolutely not. You saw,
but it should be. But yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
what I mean.
No, because now you a bitch.
Right. Well, and that's.
Well,
and that's
then, Doc, tell them how you feel.
Well, listen, and that's a nice way of putting it.
That with a stiletto.
It gets way worse than that. Like a bitch is not even that bad, but it calls you a whole bunch of other things where you can't. So now you don't want to be that at all, right? You don't want to have that weakness in you. So now you're a tough guy. Now you out here slinging his dick and all over town. That's where it should be. You know, I can't respect these. You know, I can't respect these. You know, I'm supposed to just dick them down, and they supposed to accept it. So
I thought you was about to do your role play you did last week. It looked like you was getting up to do. I was like, oh God,
here we go. So I agree though. We got it all twisted. We have it real twisted.
And then like thinking about that conversation, look at who just popped in the room.
Hey, Camp.
Hi.
Hey, nice of you to pop in the room.
Yeah, I just got back. I spent the whole day at Penn State main campus.
Okay.
We're glad you had safe travels.
My old alma mater.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. It was big and nice and all that good stuff.
Cool.
That's good. Yeah.
So we were I'm sorry, did you want to share, Camp?
That's the most walking I've done in a whole month. That's all I'm gonna say.
That can't be like the whole world.
I mean, we went everywhere. Yeah, I would say my oldest son, he liked it, and we met a lot of Black students. We knew people that was there too. Had a great tour. The most information we've gotten, and we'll see how it goes. But
okay,
not too fond of the drive. Although I did not drive, thank God. But yeah, it was good.
It's a boring drive.
Yeah, and there's nothing out there.
No, it's not. It's not. But we are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they kept saying that.
Yes.
And they was like, "Did you look like Penn State?" I'm like, "No, I'm not trying to go here. No. I'm a parent, not a kid, not a student."
Wow. So
how y'all doing?
We good.
That's good.
We were saying that we have no example of like the roles of what relationships are supposed to look like in today's society. While I mean, there's a whole bunch that was said, but I'm just snipping it like with that because I was thinking of something while Daryl was saying that would the today, even though we don't have a full 100% on how they live on a day-to-day, but would the Obamas represent, I guess, relationships and how power couples could be power couples?
The problem is,
are you asking my opinion?
Not enough. Oh,
I was asking everybody.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I mean, you have it's just too much that outdoes that, right? And actually, they look at it as boring. That's boring. They love each other.
It's not realistic.
That's boring. That's boring. You know, they probably behind closed doors doing the same thing. It's just not enough because you see this every day you're inundated with jumping on tables, throwing stuff, having sex with their best friend, messing with the married person next door. Like that's just so commonplace now. That's what people want, and you actually want the drama. The shows you watch are the ones with the most drama now. You don't want something that's not boring. You want something that's drama filled, that it's gonna be the crazy things and that becomes life. It does definitely start becoming life. Now you're looking for that drama. Now you at work looking for the gossip. What? Who doing what? What? And it's just what it is at this point.
And if you think the man's role is to buy you Birkin bags and all, and every man you come across
crazy.
working a
Crazy
regular job,
I'm broke.
right?
Can't do it.
But then you talking about there's no good men out here. But what are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Right, because he couldn't buy you a bag and shoes. Like you got a whole roof over your head. You got the real things.
Right.
But you probably can't even provide for yourself. Huh?
What just happened to you, like securing your own bag, then joining with somebody else? It's just unrealistic, because I know couples who married themselves even after Will and Jada as the relationship goes perfect couple, or the Obamas, and now they disappointed because they don't know which direction or where their relationship is going. It's just unrealistic. You should stay in your, I don't want to say level, but not saying relationships can't go higher and get better, but stay in your pay grade.
That government example.
You know what? Stay, and that's what Camp is right. People need to acknowledge. Stop overestimating your value. Right.
Right. Like, some of you don't bring that to the table, but
right.
I'm not gonna say that. That's inappropriate. But yeah, some people
don't bring inappropriate earlier.
But yeah,
I said some people don't bring to the table, but drive the pussy. Like what's coming?
If all you got to put pussy. Yeah, well, it's dried up. You're gonna be on the road raising. But I mean, if
see, okay, so no, wait, pause. She's gonna be on the road on the side. What happened to for better or for worse? Why can't you work through what it is that's making her so dried up?
Yeah, why can't you just get some lubricant? Why can't you just get some lubricant?
One at a time. If you came in and all you brought was pussy and now it's dry, then I'm going to get another one that works. Okay? You only brought
I get that.
Okay.
What happened for better or for worse though?
No. It's not for better or for worse. If depending on the relationship, right?
Why is that the only canal that you could utilize to make the relationship better?
That's the one that maybe I want. Okay, I don't want the other one. This is the one I want. Okay.
How can I say? You're not even bringing conversation.
So I hear. Yes, I'm a lube. I know self lubricating, and the new one will do it. So you can take a lube. Okay. Thank you.
We always get here.
I wasn't trying to go there. I was just saying, at some point, you want caviar, but you got McDonald's money. So if you want to reach and upgrade with your partner, go to work. Like, have a skill. You don't have to have a job, but do something that contributes to the relationship.
Right. And it can't just be you dried up pussy.
I mean, you could be a housewife. Ain't nothing wrong with it, because a lot of them, they're really good with saving money. It's not even about that. It's just about bringing something else. Conversation, like, go something.
Well, and like you said, you got to talk about these things. When you agree, what do you agree? You don't have any agreements with Ruth. Hey, listen. So,
don't be dismissing our Ruth.
Right.
Listen, I don't think but I think that's what we need to talk about. Like, you get in this relationship and you'll define your role so you know what to expect. And if she's like, I'm only doing this, and he's like, I'm only doing this, okay, then you both know what you're coming into, so you can make an informed decision. But the problem is that too many times we love ourselves into these marriages and never talk about anything, and now nothing's working out because we built everything on love and didn't base it on anything that is tangible.
Yes.
There's a problem. That becomes
love don't pay the bills. But it's more than about paying bills. But I'm just saying,
it do if you're a prostitute.
You know what?
You know what? That's not love at that point. That's lust.
We can't define love. Love is
no, that's what Daryl said. Only if you're a prostitute.
You said love don't pay the bills.
Okay, you know what? Love is subjective. You're right.
Yeah, we don't know what people
love is different for different
consider.
people. But I just think, like
Right.
Doc said, or Daryl said, we don't talk. But then we have these expectations of our partner. You may be traditional, but you never express that you like somebody that cook and clean and do all the housework, and you just work and come home. And you want them to work too, but you don't do no housework. So, but you never put that in the forefront before marriage or after. So you like, where's my food? Where's this? And she like, we ain't never talked about this. I didn't know you was this traditional.
So, but again, it had to get that way for a reason, because if you weren't getting it before, then you wouldn't be expecting it. The problem is the woman probably was doing it, or the man was probably doing it. When it becomes a problem is when I want it. When you're doing it because you want to do it, it's fine. Like I was cooking every night because I wanted to do it. But now when I expect it, then like, well, I ain't doing it. You see, I ain't expecting it. That's when the problem starts. Because you never really talked about it. Sometimes people will do it because they want to, but when it becomes their role, they don't want to, they don't.
You got a whole bunch of air quotes going on up there.
Because roles are so subjective. It's subjective, and I'm not sure. Everybody looks at everything differently. What a man's role. Like Candace said, the man wants a traditional where he works, he comes home, and she cooks, she cleans, takes care of the kids. Then she's working full time too. That's not traditional. That's not what I would think would be traditional, right?
I agree, but that's what men do.
But no, exactly. Some people do that. It's like, again, I told you, like, where we have these, we're picking and choosing what traditional means, and that becomes the problem. Like I said, when I go out, I gotta pay for dinner, and I gotta open your door, and I gotta do this, and like, I'm confused. What is your role? You don't clean the house. You don't know how to cook. You know, like, I'm confused about what's traditional and how what that means. Ain't no chivalry anymore. Hey, can you cook? Right? I'm confused.
I might like to cook, but I might like to go out too.
No, I'm just saying that when people start talking, they want these traditional roles, right? They're like, I want these traditional roles, but I can't cook. But I want you to do X, Y, and Z, or I don't have a job, but I want you to come home and cook and clean and do all this stuff and work, and I'm gonna sit home all day as a man. Like, it's weird. You gotta redefine what your roles are and how you want it to apply in relationships. And that's the problem. Like, we find out too late. Like, so we love ourselves into marriage, and we never really discuss the roles. Now you're married, and you stuck with this thing that's broke, and you're like, well, it can't cook. I didn't know it can't cook. We were out so much having fun. It can't cook. It can't clean. This is terrible. That ain't trouble.
Yeah, I just said before I got married, I only had one non-negotiable. My non-negotiable was that I would get time to myself every day. I don't care if it was like a moment in the bathroom, or reading a book, watching my own show. I got flagged for this for like 10 years from friends, like different people. You a mom, you don't deserve me time every day. I said, that's a non-negotiable. But guess what? Them same people, now mental health is really big. So those same people, I need to have my time every day. How long have I been saying this? Because my expectation is to be the best me I can be for that day. Because I feel like it's a disappointment with having all these expectations, because things change and it's flexible and it's fluid in terms of like day-to-day life. So you just do the best you could do.
I'm like, hey, look, take your time, but make sure that dinner on the table.
But you know what?
Take your 5 minutes, but I want my food on the table at 6 o'clock.
But I will say things have evolved. Like I hate doing laundry. I don't do laundry. Gotcha. Drop it off.
Gotcha.
Because I like more time.
Right.
To do what I want to do versus.
I don't even drop it off. I sit outside my door.
That's so I'm just saying, like, there's things you trade.
And that's something you talk about, like, so like,
right.
Well, because he might be like, I expect you to watch it. Why are you paying money to listen? This is what I need, and this is what it should be, and you guys should work that out so you know what is coming in. These
to meet the deadline. To meet the laundry deadline, that's why it gets dropped off. I'm just saying.
They send me the text. What days they gonna be in the neighborhood? Yep, I'll do it this day. Yep.
Right. But that's the expectation that laundry is done.
You need what?
A laundry deadline. I didn't even know that was the thing. See, I'm learning.
That's the thing. Expectation that laundry is done weekly.
Yeah, service.
Right.
And then if it's a storm, you gotta be prepared that you're not gonna get it to the next day.
things I gotta discuss.
You said things you gotta discuss.
Right? You need to know these things.
You do.
I mean, yeah, because you could have a washer and dryer in the house, but it's still a matter of what's
Having time to do it.
yeah, what kind of time it helps with.
Clothes ain't gonna wash themselves.
The text comes, I say yes or I say pass.
Or like, I just know just a lot of girlfriends that are wives. They be like, "Girl, I have to clean all day Saturday. Aren't you cleaning? Aren't you washing clothes?" I said, I got in my car, dropped the clothes off. I said, I was hungry. The kids cooked dinner.
So are
They
your
be
friends
like,
upset that they're Camp? Are your friends upset that they're cleaning all Saturday? Or kind of like
They be pissed. They have
So why-
attitudes.
So why did they?
So why don't delegate?
Right. Why they doing it?
Well, I don't know about delegate. Now we.
No, it should be a family affair.
I don't
A
know.
family affair.
You don't know
I get
about
it.
the delegation?
I don't know who has the power to delegate. Cause y'all like take control and all this. So I don't know who can delegate things. But I'm saying there needs to be discussion because you shouldn't be upset doing anything. You got to find a way to work it out where you guys can do something different. And that seems like
to be honest, I think it comes down to what you allow, whether it's from a spouse, a partner, kids, or extended family, a cousin, whoever you share space with. It's what you allow.
And that's what I'm saying. People are afraid to kind of speak out. Like they're bending to you.
Right.
Can't take this. But if you told him, he might say, "Hey, look, do it on Sunday." You know what I mean? Make it Sunday.
He might give you an extension. You saying you might get a day extension?
Hey, no, babe, do half today.
That's a good idea, though. An extension.
Like he helping out any way he can. No, I'm saying again, this is where you have to help invite your partner in. Like, listen, it's tough. Can you help out? And maybe they can help out, take some things off your plate, or you can work it out. And that's a great thing to join together, to do something together, to learn like, hey, we can get this done together. And it's not all your job to do that. That's when whatever reason they feel like their job is doing, right? And it's not really on them. Like I don't mind.
Your voice got lower, Daryl.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind.
No, your voice got lower.
Your voice got lower.
Like lower like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, you was making me feel like a senior citizen. Like
I'm sorry. I'm trying to see. I don't want to be too loud because I don't. But anyway, so yeah, I would help clean. I just don't clean on.
No, it's a mutual affair. We all live in this house. It's not one ability to clean.
It isn't. But if you get up every Saturday morning, and do all the cleaning and don't ask for help, that's your job.
That's your bad.
By yourself to get up and clean.
My thing is, I can't dictate what's good or not good in a relationship. But what I can say, if you're upset about it, you need to talk about it.
Yes.
If you're okay cleaning every Saturday by yourself, if that's your thing, do you, boo boo. But if you have a problem with it, then I would say, hey, listen, you need to talk, because that's going to come out. That's going to come out another way. You know, that anger is going to be displayed somewhere else. The kid's going to get it, or he going to get it. Everybody going to get it. You know, and then now he got to go to a side joint and tell her, I don't know what's wrong with her, because he's just acting up.
Gotta go to the side joint to be complaining like, I don't know what's going on.
I can't.
Or after 5 Saturdays straight, you downstairs throwing stuff around because you mad because nobody came down to help you clean.
Or you planning a staycation where you ain't gonna be there on Saturday morning. You like, I'm going to check in at XYZ location. I see y'all on Monday.
Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Daryl, what you about to say? She can get out. Sure. She can stay at the staycation.
Oh, absolutely.
I knew that's what you was gonna say.
That's gonna be
but conversation.
Home cation.
But a conversation is needed instead of being passive aggressive. Because I know when I was younger, I used to be like, well, I need something done. If it's not done by the due date, I'm calling somebody and they'll be here to do it. And it's coming out the budget. Oh, well, I can't do everything. So whatever gets done gets done.
Right.
But it was passive aggressive. Really that's not.
Right. That's really dangerous, because that's when you take that away. And you also take that role away from that man sometimes, right?
Exactly. So you have to be careful.
He feels like he don't have a plate. And our egos are very fragile. So let's be honest about the situation. You know, so when you have somebody else come do something, it's tough. You know, that definitely could really affect the man seriously. And the problem is sometimes, I know for me, you may want it done on Saturday, I'm gonna get it done. It probably won't be on Saturday. I'm just not good. I get to it when I get to it, and that's a big problem. I'm cool with it. That's a problem other people have. So if you like Saturdays, I'm not. I'm never gonna do it on when you say it. It might happen by mistake, and just because I just do so much to get busy, I do it when I kind of feel like it, and that's how I am. I just do it when I feel like it. Now I don't. If you can do it when you feel like it, I don't say you have to do it on any certain day, but don't think I'm gonna do it on any certain day.
But a lot of times it don't go both ways in reality.
Right.
The man, like, not to be funny, a lot of times it's like, this got to get done. I actually do. Why it's not done yet? But on the flip side, if you was to do the same, it's like, well, we've been sitting on this for weeks. Like, what's happening? What are we doing?
Or because there's no conversation,
right?
The partner. I mean, I could say man, but I really just want to say partner. The partner believes that if they touch something, you're gonna say that they did it wrong, and if they do it wrong, then you start spazzing out. And so then my hands is up. I'm not doing nothing. Like you must like doing it all to yourself because every time I try to help, then it's a whole nother conversation.
I've seen that.
But your way is not their way. That's real. You got to let them do it their way. If you're asking for help.
Yes, even when folding clothes up and put them away, and they're like, "Well, the corner's supposed to be out." I don't know about the corner. I did the best I could. Now I feel like, you know what I mean. Guess what? I'm not doing next time. The fucking corner.
Yep.
Because I don't fold.
I'm kind of person floating around today.
I kind of roll, but I don't fold.
You get your own clothes, goddamn it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing it again. Or even I think somebody said I heard a story where I guess she didn't want to offend him, but he fold towels wrong, so you would go back and fold them the right way. Like, all right, well,
that's too much work.
For real.
They fold it and they're away. Like,
that's all that matters.
Yes, but some people sometimes it ain't that way. So
no, you're right. You're right.
And then guess what? You ain't getting no more. Our help.
Yes, that's what happens. That's what happens. And that is a question I always ask when somebody tells me a dynamic like that. Like, did you set that dynamic up? No. How do you respond when he or she does something you ask them? But they never do it right. So I got to do it my own way, and I got to tell them to do it 5 times. All right, so you set that dynamic.
Now you sound like a mom instead of a partner.
Yes, you set that dynamic up.
Yep, you do.
Mm-hmm. And we have to be, and sometimes we don't know we're doing that. We got to realize what we're doing because we could turn the other partner off just by how we're responding.
Yeah, and then you have a dried up situation.
Or so sometimes
you're gonna be out the house. You said you're gonna be out the house.
I said, but sometimes those type of arguments or resentment that's built up, and that's how it comes out. Is that you also not getting no glazed biscuits?
Oh yeah, and sometimes when people talk, depending on what they saying, you hear Charlie Brown. And then you just like, get off my back, I'll do it.
Right.
Sometimes all you hear.
I okay with the best of them. I okay you to death. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, heard nothing.
Let me know.
My other one. Oh, that's great. That's mine.
Or I'll be like, you right.
Yep, that's it right there.
You don't want to argue. You're not going back and forth.
Right. Yeah, right.
I see. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Absolutely. Okay.
I didn't even realize I said you right so
But
much.
you do. You do say it.
Like, a girlfriend pointed out to me. She was like, "You just was like, you right." I said, "Oh, did I?"
You did. You do that a lot. Yeah.
Ooh, because that'd be the other version of wanting to say something else, and I'd be like, "Nope, I'm just gonna say you right."
I mean, that's better than saying "fuck you."
It definitely is. I agree.
In retrospect,
in retrospect,
it's more.
But
positive.
It might slip out.
I don't know if anybody. I don't think anybody's ever lost a job for saying you right, but fuck you, your job probably gone.
Your job is dead.
But you know what? You know what? Knowing my background, I've said that and have not lost a job over that. So
knowing her background, yes,
I've said that and haven't lost. Yeah, the old me.
Yeah, but I think there's an important point to mention. If you're trying to switch up roles and you're asking your partner to do something or help you with something, you gotta let them do it their way.
But what if you was brought up in a
or create
household
a
where
mutual way.
Yeah. You can. We let's do it our way. Yes, not your mom's way, not my mom's way.
Right.
We'll do it our way.
Right.
that's hard to break though. But what if you
It
grew up in a
is.
household where everybody does? You learn how to do a little bit of everything from like your grandmother and your mom, but everybody. It wasn't like you take out trash. It was like whatever was available. That's what you did.
Right.
In terms of roles.
Because you see something, you're aware that it needs to get done, and you just do it.
And you just do it. It's not like
You just do it.
So again, that's where I'm gonna let you do it then. Like so you kind of
just gonna let me do it.
Well, what happens is you do it out of the other person, meaning it's trash there, and before he can get to it or she can get to it, you do it all the time. So you gonna make that other person easy. Then what's gonna happen is like, well, I always take the trash out. Well, you do it before me. What you want me to do? Like, so now you get upset that you're doing it all the time, but you're doing it all the time. So you don't allow something. You can't tell me after you did it for 2 years, now you get mad because I don't do it. You did it. Like you were doing it. I'm breathing you. You doing it. You got it. Like
that's your thing. That's what you're saying.
You made it your thing. You can't get mad that you made something your thing.
Because of the time, you took too much time. It looked like you was doing something else.
Control
your time of
that's what I hear. They took too long to do it.
Right.
What was too long? You could have did something else. You focused on it.
Exactly. You done made up some arbitrary time frame to get it done.
Because you wanted it right now. That's my problem. I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't work in the circus on jump. So you let the trash out. Cool, it'll get out. But maybe not right now. If I'm doing something, I'm not gonna jump because and then you do it. I'm like, well, I know I'm never gonna do it. Every time you say do it, I'll jump, you're gonna do it. That becomes the problem that you're doing. Just let me do it. If you want me to
like
do
a hit and
fight. Yeah, I just remember I used to work according to deadlines. So like growing up, my mom said, women don't take out trash, you gather the trash. So when I moved with my dad when I was older, he was like, he had an expectation, he never voiced it. After like months, he was like, I have a problem with you. I'm like, what happened? You don't take out the trash to the curb. I said, oh, girls don't take out trash. I gather trash. You make the trash, but I gather the trash for the whole family. He called my mom, had an issue with that. He was like, what kind of issue did you teach her? And she's like, she don't take out the trash because she cooked, cleaned, washed dishes. She, cleaned up everybody's bedroom when she didn't mess it up. Like they did, women in my household did everything but take out trash in the house.
It's only one more thing.
What's the one more thing, girl?
But even with that, we had to negotiate
not take the trash to the curb? You did everything else.
So what I started doing was, if I'm gathering everybody's trash, I'm just gonna gather my trash and take out my own trash, and you're responsible for your trash. So we just negotiated that because that was an unspoken expectation.
Right, but at least you guys were able to have that conversation and come to some.
But it got weird. Like you're not talking to me. You're giving me the cold shoulder. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
I seen that coming to the therapy room.
We're fragile.
I mean, I see that too, where people set up rules, even for their kids.
Correct.
They have these rules, but they've never been spoken.
You're right.
Until the rule is broken. Then once the rule is broken, you're telling them that this was a rule.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, people can't adhere to rules they don't know about.
Right.
I agree
and that's when the person says, well, they should know.
Yeah, I hate that.
And exactly how should they know? Right.
Really? I hate that. Please, they should know better. They know better. Obviously, they don't because they ain't doing it. Like, stop.
Right.
If you're saying they should know, they know better, and they're not doing it, then they know better. Stop saying that.
Right.
Obviously, they don't.
But even if they know better, obviously they think they have a choice.
Right.
When they have a choice, they've chosen not to do it.
Right. That part right there.
That's what it comes down to, I think.
They don't know better. They know opposite.
But they've made an observation to realize, think that they have a choice. They've observed what happens if nobody moves to do it at the same time.
Right.
So if I don't move, I act like I'm still writing this email, or I'm writing a paper, or I'm doing something else that they've elevated as being important, then I'm going to act like I'm doing that. And they'll just do it. And then that carries over for a child into their adult relationships, and you don't communicate. You just have these unspoken expectations and wondering why your relationship is always in a disarray.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I agree with it, like a deadline. Like my mom would be like, "Oh, you need to wash these dishes." I would wash the dishes. It may be 12 midnight, but it's gonna be before I go to bed. But she'd be like, "Why these dishes not washed?" Well, you didn't tell me what time they had to be done. But in her mind, when I tell you, it needs to be done now.
Right.
And in my mind,
right.
I'm going to go outside and hang out with friends.
I don't know about that. So it's a little different. Well, my household is a little different because she said do it. I had to do it or I was gonna get hurt. So it was no plan. So I don't know about that. Like
that was an expectation.
No, I
would get hurt. Get hurt, or do you want to do the chore?
Oh,
I would get hurt, but I just kind of
had to do it. It was mandatory. It was no expectation. It was mandatory. If I didn't want to have a die, I had to get it done.
It got done. Just be clear and concise.
Be clear and concise.
Uppercut and a wheel kick is definitely clear and concise. So I know to get it
You
done.
had a learned behavior.
It was definitely learned because you put the fire to that ass. That's why I had to learn. She only told me one time.
Right.
I knew it had to be done immediately. She like, can you what? And she couldn't even finish the sentence. I was.
I get it.
I would try to go out.
So did we really talk about or clarify the traditions of today versus the traditions of yesterday?
No, because what are the traditions? I think today is so fluid. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Everything just changes every 5 seconds. You know, it's so different, and what family is different. You know, it's just you have to be on your toes today. You know, it's just you. Oh, not good. Hey, Ruth, are you trying to come at us? What are we doing here, Ruth?
Well, I was going to ask the same thing.
Neil, what are we doing here, Neil? I don't like your LOL.
What are the traditional roles from yesterday?
You know, yeah, it's very weird. You know, because even men and women are different than yesterday. Today, men and women, what's considered, what's not considered. You can't say a woman's having a baby because they are having a baby because men can have babies. So we're just, it's interesting, right? So you can't, it's a lot of things you can't say anymore.
I think I gotta take myself off camera real quick.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying. I get it.
Relationships and what it is just fluid. It's anything goes. You know, we have the polyamorous relationship. We have the relationship is so different today. And I really, in 20 years, when these younger kids grow up, I wonder what their relationships are going to look like because the boundaries are being pushed.
Boundaries and experimentation, though.
And then you have two people that want to be alphas in the relationship, want to take over versus working together in a partnership.
That was the case since Eve, Adam with Apple.
What'd you say in your whisper in the mic?
Yeah,
I said that was always the case. When Eve gave Adam the apple, she was trying to control things. So women told from the beginning, they were trying to be alpha.
Oh my God! Did he just say that?
Yes, he did. He did just say that.
Yes, he did.
Eve wasn't trying to control stuff. Like, here, Adam, eat this.
She offered an opportunity. He already had the expectations and the rules laid out, and he chose to be distracted by what was presented.
Because he let her lead him. Instead of him being the leader, say, "Hey, yo, put the apple back."
That ain't what was leading them. That ain't what was leading them. That little leaf blew over, and he was like, "Ooh, what's that?"
He already had that leaf. That leaf wasn't about him. He's just lazy.
He wanted some more.
All right, I'll eat the apple.
I don't believe
it. Wow. Ooh, I heard it all.
So,
yes, I have heard it all. Like, what?
Yeah. So
Hey,
relationships are a
but
little
back in the
crazy
day,
today.
the rules were pretty standard.
Right, for the most part. Right.
Yes. Yes.
And everybody kind of knew what it was. You had the
Mhm.
man, he was the breadwinner. He was taking care of everything. The woman was home, taking care of the kids. The man came home, his food was ready, and then he would go out at night, and his other families on the other side of town, about 3 doors.
Like I
That was
said,
that was standard. That was what a relationship was
and
back in the
women
day.
received an
Okay,
allowance every week to do what they needed to
but
do
Made me think of the
outside
I
the
movie
don't,
bills.
I don't,
Fences,
I don't,
right?
I don't
Wasn't
know
the
about
movie
no
Fences?
allowance. Like time out. I don't know about no women receiving no allowance. That is not
To do
traditional.
what they wanted to
Women
do
were
outside of the
home.
bills. Because being a homemaker was a full-time job.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, they didn't respect it like that. They didn't give.
Where I'm
They didn't
from,
give
that's
her
how it
no.
would go
They
down.
didn't give her no allowance. That may be whatever, but they didn't give her no allowance. She stayed home. She didn't even have shoes because there was nowhere for her to go. She wasn't going anywhere. Like why do you got shoes? You don't need them. You ain't going nowhere. So
I gotta go
back
out and
then,
come back in.
All right.
but
All right.
so I think it's back, and that's why the man had so much control because he had all the finance, he had the control of all of those things. So the woman kind of had a say. That's why it's like, well, women back in the day stayed for 30 years. Well, because a lot of them didn't have access to get out of relationships because he controlled everything. They didn't. It was all everything was in his name. So they were kind of stuck in that situation. They were actually stuck in that situation. So it wasn't like the relationships were so great. But
Right.
again, when you don't have any other options, and back then it wasn't even who were you talking to because you were home all the time for the most part. So you even have that
Let's say it
circle to
was
be
at
like,
church.
come on, girl, we can take you and you can go and you just stayed in that situation and 40
They
years,
encouraged you to
40
stay.
years, 4 years
No
down the
matter what was
road,
going on.
right?
Yeah.
40 years,
Do it seem
40
like
years
that
down
was
the road.
better though?
Better?
Was it
I
better?
mean, because the
40,
roles were clearly
no,
defined back then.
no. Listen. How's
I got an
better when
allowance.
40 years down the road, 3 babies later, now y'all good. 3
No,
outside ages later.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Oh.
the not knowing that the roles are consistent. Everybody's doing the same thing
It was good for the
in
man. I know it was good for
whatever
him.
marriage you're in. So
No,
that's what
it
I'm
was
saying.
good for me.
I'm asking, was it better back in the day because
It
roles
was
were
better.
clear, they
Yeah.
were clearly defined.
Yeah, it's clear. I can do what I want to do. I don't know how that could be better because I think a lot of women had to suffer through these relationships that they were kind of stuck in. Oh, it's echo.
Sorry.
What was that?
That was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if that was better because you may have defined roles, but those roles allowed a lot of things to happen, right? Those defined role where that man wasn't really a leader, he was control. He was a dictator.
Yeah, he was. Yes, yes.
Which allowed him to have that other family across town, which allowed him to move, shake, and pop the way he did. And like I said, women just be in these relationships just unhappy for years, and hopefully.
That's what makes me think of the movie Fences.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I look at when I think of traditional. I don't see it as a thing where it was great for women because you had no control. You had to accept so much more, right? You had to.
I love that
like
movie.
They had to accept so much more, and it seemed definitely as a man, you were moving, shaking, and pop. How are you bring a baby home like, hey, this is what you're gonna do?
The mama died.
You're gonna take care of this.
That happened in the Muddy Water story too. He brought up
that did happen.
Because
she couldn't have kids.
Yeah.
So, but this is what you accept. This is crazy.
I mean, modern day women doing that too.
Just to get up under a body. Well, modern women do that.
Yes, modern day women are doing that too.
Well, I mean,
they do,
but it's still the same. It's the same
mindset
with a different intensity of the mental health impact, but it's still. I wouldn't say earlier in the question you asked, was it better then?
Right.
I don't know that one is better than the other
over the other one.
It's still a consequence to the mental stability of the individual as well as the family community as a whole.
I think the difference is in the mental state is back then you thought you had no choice. Now
don't break up your family.
You have a choice, but it's harder because you don't want to make that hard choice.
Right.
You have a choice, so it's more confusing now.
But if you make that choice, sometimes your level quality of life or your level of living depreciates.
I don't know. I
especially
think
as a woman.
today
What's
is
the
like
choice?
I'm independent. I do my own thing. I don't need no man. I don't need me. That's what it is.
And that's not
today.
everyone.
That's not everybody
That's not
doing all that,
everyone.
especially with all that that you
Not
got going on.
everyone.
Everybody ain't doing all that.
But
boy,
somebody
here
don't
we
want.
go.
Some people
Now
don't
we're
want to
in
take other
denial.
people's
This is
kids.
women.
Like that.
Here we go. You want the
women
facts,
want to be
Daryl?
independent.
You want the
Women want to
stats?
be independent. We started this all talking about women being independent. Correct?
Okay.
So women are independent these days. They're very independent.
But
And
that's
they
what I'm
don't-
saying.
They
That's
don't
the
want to give
case.
up that
But
independence.
there are some women who know they have that choice, and that's what
Mhm.
makes it harder for them. You know, they know now, yeah, you could go off and be independent and be by yourself, but do I want to give up all the things that I have right here in this relationship? Whereas back then, you didn't have a choice, so you just did it.
You just stayed.
You made the best of it.
I would like you guys to go back then. So you guys don't have a choice and just make it.
You would like us to go back then? Mm.
Let's go back then.
I will not.
Not at all. Not
like
at all.
like and cut. I will not.
This is the problem. This is the problem. You guys don't want to be traditional. It's really women fighting.
I think the tradition is that we have to always be ready to edit, revise, and grow into a new playbook, because
Right.
the playbook of us moving forward, we could talk about what those traditional things were that we saw in our family that we appreciate, but we got to agree on how it's going to show up in our relationship.
I
Because
agree. As long as y'all listen.
ain't no baby coming into the house randomly. Like, but that would be in my zip code. That's not necessarily everybody else's.
It's
zip
different
code.
for everybody. Yeah, it's different.
Right.
Right.
And that's probably not
Baby
even the
call.
reality for my zip code. I'm just saying
don't.
it for the stirring up of the
That's not.
conversation.
Right.
That's not the baby's fault. Don't blame the baby. He has nothing to do with him being here. So
Well, he should have deposited the
But
baby.
you gonna love
as
the baby regardless. That's what you're saying, Daryl.
You gotta love the baby regardless. This for
Ha.
me. It's for me.
Yeah.
Which means it's for us.
Ha.
But that can be a tough decision because a lot of times women, if you have other kids, you be like, I want this new baby to get to know his siblings. It's not fair that he or she was brought into the world, but they fault.
So I think it's a tough decision for women because I'm like, hey, you'll get the hell out of here. You get paid by somebody else. I don't get stuff at all. Ain't at all.
That's because you selfish.
I can
Right.
see that,
You-
girl. You
you're
saying
right.
it ain't a hard choice.
I'm gonna stay with you while you cheated and go through this 9 months with you and then have this baby. No, I'm gonna limit the movement.
So is the tables turn though? So like it's okay for the man to do that, but it's not okay for the woman?
Absolutely right. There are double standards.
We already know Daryl's stance on this.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, there are double standards. More women would come on. We know more women would accept the situation, I think, than men. I'm just saying that because it's different. I gotta see it. I got not only know you cheated, I gotta watch you go through this and have it. I'm not doing that's 9 months.
But you got to
of that
make sure the
torture.
baby not yours, Daryl.
It ain't. And I'll see you after we go to get tests done. At this point, if there's somebody else in the picture, I'm not staying around that. That's just.
You got to stay around, but you have to.
You got your other children.
Hey, I can do it. See, again, we talk about the male ego. I can slip and slide, but you can't. Like most of the time, men can't handle that. Men can't handle somebody going up in their woman. It's not a playbook. If we're gonna be honest, Most
Yeah, men
ain't
can't
cool.
handle it. That's what you're saying.
Men can handle that. They're not. Most men are not like, oh, my girl cheated on me. Okay, no, we ain't doing that.
They not built like that.
We trying to kill everybody in the situation, right? Everybody. So it's just we're not built that way. Our egos don't allow us really to be vulnerable enough to say, you know, it's okay if you cheated. It was my fault. Let's talk about it. No, we're not. I can't. We can't. We're not doing that. No. We can't do it. So, so I can see.
And he will be saying that until he finds out whether or not that baby is his.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is creating distress and resentment in the household. So nothing surrounding how it is you're interacting.
So Daryl, what if
you and your coochie for the street is a stressing household? Okay.
No. What cookie was stressing the household?
Girl,
Was the antecedent that created the reason why my cookie needed to go outside.
But Daryl, what if the baby ended up
outside
being
because she
yours?
wasn't doing something?
Oh, old gangbang here. Old gangbang here.
I said Daryl.
Okay, so wait a minute. I'm sorry, Mary. So Mary, now it's my fault that you cheated. Here we go.
Yeah, you did something. You didn't serve me in some particular way, so I had to go get attention somewhere else.
It's not that you just for the street. You feel me? Not
I ain't got no wild cookie on my own.
Yeah, just because your cookie is on fire, that's my fault. You know what I mean?
But that's what men say.
Your penis didn't make it calm down. You ain't put the fire out.
Men, please pay attention here.
Isn't that what men say though?
To these women.
Yes.
You didn't give me attention, so I had to find it somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know if men say that. I mean, that's the lie we tell when we get caught, but we just did it because she got a fat ass, right?
Yes.
We did it because she was there. We did it because we could. That's why.
Yes.
We had an opportunity and we're like, we probably won't get caught. Let's take it. That's why. But when we
so you measured the opportunity, was it worth it? It was about.
No, they don't measure.
We had no opportunity.
Yeah, they don't measure.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're gonna get away with it in our minds.
Yes.
Remember, when the blood leaves.
That's why y'all don't know when it happens when a woman do it. That's why y'all be walking around thinking that y'all the big machismo.
No, stop, you guys. Please stop. We don't know it happens because we don't want to believe it happens. That's our ego. It's nothing to do with you again.
I would agree with that.
It's the way we're set up. We don't want to think because if we think that somebody's taking our thing, that makes us weak. So we're missing the cues on purpose because we don't want to seem weak. We don't want to seem soft. We miss it. Like I am came home at 4 a.m. She was with her girls. Like we're gonna miss it on purpose. We don't want to admit that. Weak. Hey, it could be what it is. But I'll just let you know. We ain't anybody. Nah, we ain't. No. Men
so if the opportunity's there, you're doing it. Okay.
On both sides.
If you got a fat ass, I mean, well, first of all, it got to be opportunity for it to happen anyway. But if you got, if she's there and you can get away with it, most time men are. Not always.
It still seems like no accountability, no on either side. Like just because it's some kind of stress that I don't have to sit down and have a vulnerable, real talk conversation with you. I could just go outside and find something random to flip.
I don't think. Sorry. What we just said. I just said. Like, first of all, it's no conversation to be had because it may not you be perfect, right?
But I'm just saying, where's the accountability part on anybody, whoever is the dip and slide person? Oh boy, he must be about to be dead. He got more equipment than a little bit.
That's what they all say.
I knew you set that up, Mary.
Yeah, you did. But Daryl, if the baby ended up being yours, would you still stay, or you wouldn't stay at all? Period.
So I think for me, it's my baby. I would try to stay.
Okay.
After you didn't cause all this havoc and stress.
Again, see, we talk about accountability, but I call something because she was out there in the streets. I'm confused. Pay attention. See, no accountability. She caused the problem in the home because you couldn't keep her legs closed. Okay? Yes. She couldn't cause it. She out there giving it to the street and gonna blame me. We're doing it.
So still the double standard.
Yes, there is. Yes.
Forever will be.
Let's be honest. Like there's some double standards, and not saying they're right or wrong. Acknowledge that there are some double standards. There are certain things that men can do and get away with that people won't trip over, and there's women the same thing, and it'd be a problem. There are double standards. So get over it.
I guess. But I guess that does play in the traditional role, the double standards.
They do.
Yeah.
And they do. But that's the problem. We let those type of things, double standards, things of that nature, dictate sometimes our roles, and that becomes a problem. You know, when you hear women saying, "Well, men going to cheat," you know, you got to accept.
Yes, I hate when women say that.
You got to find
so
what
now
this
you-
doesn't cheat.
Now you're
as much.
saying it's okay.
Right now,
You're
you're already
saying
putting
it's
yourself in
okay.
position. Like when he does, I'm going to accept it. And
Yes.
I'm going to go through it because it's what they do. So
Yes.
this is where that you know that it's general okay. It makes it okay. So we got to kind of talk to our men, talk to our women, and it's not okay. You shouldn't be cheated on. Like,
You worth more than this.
Like if he can't lie enough to keep it out of then he shouldn't be with you.
Right, discreet.
And that's the thing. Like, why don't
he should be able to lie enough that you don't know he got inside you.
why not? But instead of going through all that, why not just stay single and just do you? Why do people couple up to do those things?
Because people like to come home to something and play in the streets.
What you mean? Absolutely.
People like to do both.
When you go home, everything is home.
You need something to snuggle with.
Home could be perfect. Home could be perfect. Remember, cheating isn't about the other person. Home could be perfect. But there's nothing better than some new cookies. That new hot cookie. So it's not about that person. It's about you. Oh, what did I do? It may be nothing you did. Right? It may be nothing you did. It's what he wants.
It be opportunity, according to Daryl.
It got to be opportunity. You can't do it if there's no opportunity. But I got to have opportunity to do it. So
there's always opportunity, whether you want it or not.
Yes.
People are being groomed every minute of the day, whether you choose to be vulnerable to the grooming.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, you have to accept it. Like you have to, like if you see it coming, like I'm not going, then you're not partaking opportunity to stay single. No.
Miss Ruth, I like cookies too.
Ruth, that's silly. That's silly. We have a whole cookie store and they go dip off, get extra cookies. Like sometimes with chocolate chip, sometimes with over raisins. You know, you got
or
sugar at home. You got sugar cookie at home, but sometimes you want something different. So come on, Ruth.
You got a whole cookie store at home. And then you down the street
with all your flavors.
Wait a minute, down the street eating some cookies off the ground.
Right.
Here we go.
Right. Now that's a whole nother conversation, but right.
No, that's not another conversation because you feel like it's, but for whatever reason, you think it's on the ground, but it wasn't on the ground, it was in the air. That cookie was a good cookie. Just because you trying to downplay it because whatever reason you modify it to be on the ground, that cookie wasn't on the ground.
So the role would be to have a cookie at home, a traditional.
I picked it up and blew on it. It was fine.
Now it's dirty cookie.
They had the 5-second rule on the ground.
Right.
It sounds like that's hating cookies. Don't hate. Okay? At the end of the day, that cookie away from you. Okay? So what's wrong with your cookie?
But your dirty cookie threatens your cookie at home.
Yes, Ruth, kiss it up to God.
Yes.
It's gonna be great. Yes.
Go smack it up, lick it, and rub it down.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh gosh. All right.
So funny.
What you got, Daryl? What was you about to say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I got it. I mean, it is. We're good. You talking about cookies? Move on.
Dirty cookies, wild cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
They're not dirty cookies. I'm hating on the cookie. It's just because it's not your cookie, don't mean it's the cookie. All right. Cookies actually your cookies on the same level at that point.
Dang.
That's cheap.
Wow, yeah.
We're on the same level though.
Right.
Obviously, y'all getting the same.
Man, that's not something you say though. When you get caught, you don't want to say that.
No. Oh no. I'm sorry, baby. That was
You're not saying I got a 3-for-1.
Yeah,
not a 3 for
that.
You know how you get 3 cookies.
When you get caught, you better downplay them other cookies.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you gotta lie.
They better be some dirty darn cookies.
Yes, exactly.
You gotta lie. You lie. I don't even know no cookies. What cookie? I don't know that. I don't like chocolate chip. I don't like chocolate chip. You gotta lie unless it's a video.
Now you allergic to chocolate chip, huh?
Right.
I break out. I break out. Chocolate chip break me out. I don't like chocolate chip.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see your breakout.
Right.
Oh gosh, I gotta see this in the evidence for real, for real. So, do we have anything else that we want to talk about in these traditional, non-traditional, non-negotiable relationship roles? Who creates them and why? Where they come from?
Negotiate your roles.
I think it's so, like I said, it's so crazy today because you have a traditional mindset, but then this new way of doing things, like at the same time. It's like people say traditional, but it's like you really got it when you talk to people. Like that's the first thing from what I would think would be traditional. It's very different. Like I said, even with what consists of a relationship, who's who, and they and they and us, and if it's one person, it's just really different. It's really,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
can't
really
use those. You can't use those vague terms like traditional, non-traditional. You
right,
have to
right,
operationalize what it is you want to do in your relationship.
I like that word.
100%, 100%.
Okay.
When you meet people, you really gotta ask like, what's going on? Because they now people running down to like I'm polyamorous and I'm pansexual and I'm open to and I like both and I like this. Like whoa, I just wanted to meet. I can meet. Like it's really different out here in these streets. Like you out in these streets right now is very different. It's a job interview. It's probably gonna take hot as a tea kettle. Listen, it's very different. And you're not, you need to know what your acronyms are. You need to definitely know your acronyms because people are, they're this and that, and I like this, and what? You gotta look up things. You know what I mean? Everybody's something now. It's crazy what, it's really interesting and tough. And
Which means you have to talk even more.
Right.
Yeah,
Amen.
Like, what's that mean? Okay.
Stop texting you during the show.
No, I was saying I'm Googling all the time. Like, well, what was that?
Oh,
What's that mean? I'm a type of social.
That's important.
Different words they're using. I'm this. I'm a this. I'm a this. You better it up because you get something you ain't look. You thought you knew what it was and it wasn't what you thought it was. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So you need to definitely. And that's the reason to talk to people because you got to understand who you're dealing with.
right.
You really got
Who and
to
what?
talk to people. Right.
And what important values do they carry that they want to live in their sustainable relationship?
You have to.
Everyday life. That's important.
It's because things are so different. You really have to ask all these questions. You know what I mean? Even down to like, what's your preferred pronoun? You got to ask this question. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm non-binary. What does that mean? Why I gotta be? I'm not this. I'm straight. Like you have to really, from the beginning, from the onset of the encounter, you're collecting data and finding out who this person is. And
you definitely do.
It's tough. It is really tough.
I got asked a question.
You got to get comfortable with these conversations because a lot of people don't want to ask these. I don't want to ask him that, or I don't want to ask her that.
And that's what you got to be asking.
You need to get comfortable asking.
You do.
Well, you better because you call them a she and they get that. I'm not a she. I'm a them.
And I had to think about that too because somebody asked me what my pronouns were. I said, "What you mean?" They was like, "What's your pronouns?" I said, "Her, she."
And from
there you go. The answer. There you go. Question. Now we know. Because it's really offensive. People get offended. Like, and I
taught myself.
But the thing about it is that you really are not supposed to ask somebody from a diversity perspective because you can end up outing somebody when they're not ready to be totally outed, which is against the law and could be a sexual harassment suit.
So I don't know because right now we're instructed to, right? Because remember, even in our emails,
to identify ourselves.
We're leading with our pronouns, or preferred pronouns. We're even taught like, hey, when you meet someone, you ask their preferred pronoun, right? Just because you don't want now. So you're not necessarily outing them because they can say him if they want, or she should, whatever they want to say.
Right.
Or they can tell you, whatever the case may be. You just don't want. You don't want to. It's funny because it's not to be disrespectful. You need to ask this question, and it's kind of disrespectful, kind of to ask that question because I don't know why that. But then you understand why, but it's like why. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at right now. This is where I'm talking about things are so different. So
yeah, and it's so funny because. Go ahead, there. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying we're just so far from what we started talking about in the beginning of traditional. We're nowhere near that today.
Right. That's true.
It's tough. Even if you're looking at a traditional relationship, you still got to go through these new hoops to see if the other person is even traditional like you.
On the same line.
What your traditional is. Yeah. Are you traditional like me or no? Like, what's your tradition? These things that we have to do now, and it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. When I was in St. Martin with my best friend, we were on a boat ride with a lesbian couple, and it's funny. My friend was talking to one of the women, and she kept saying "she" when she was relaying, talking about the other woman. And I was like, oh man, it dawned on me because you're right, Daryl. We keep hearing this. We got to ask people what their pronouns are, and I was like, oh my God, I hope that's how she identifies. Because
right.
I didn't want her to think, but when her wife talked about her, she did say her. When she started talking about it, she was like, yeah, she likes this and I'm like that and she's like this. And I was like, okay, all right. But it's dawning on me all the time now when I'm with people in coupling, mostly. When they're in couples, it's like, it's man, is this going to be a problem?
Right. And sometimes people don't give you a chance, and you say something wrong, they jump down and go, I'm a he. Well, I'm sorry. You didn't give me a chance. I didn't know. So it's tough. And sometimes you don't even want to deal with it. It's like it's so convoluted right now. Trying to meet someone new is just so convoluted with all the hoops you got to jump. It's like, it was tough before, and now you got 19 other steps you have to add on to what you had to add on. Well, maybe 2,000. Sorry, I shorted myself. No, it's a lot more now. Like I said, and it's like
there's definitely a lot more to dating.
Yes, and everybody open to everything. Well, do I want somebody open to everything? And is something like that now? Is that it's weird, because like men and women welcome. Okay, I don't know if I can feel that position because you like both sides. I can't do both sides. So it's it changes things a little bit when you're talking to people and they're telling you about their past or what they do or what they expect or what they're open to. So you open to that? Ooh, I'm not really open to that.
And if you say you're not open to those things, and it just so happens that the other person says, all right, he's not open to this, but I'm going to get into a relationship with him anyway. And then down the line, they're bringing that thing up again. Hey, let's do such and such. And you're like, I told you I'm not with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a problem. Then they have a problem. Like you knew who I was, and that's when all that kind of stuff start coming out.
And they want to evolve outside the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Evolve.
And that's what makes it very tough. Because like I said, sometimes people try to, like, all right, it's that bad, I can deal with it. And then 2 years in, they can't. That calling, that craving, or whatever they need, and you can't give it to them. I can get it.
I know somebody who, I guess it's some kind of marriage law that if you're married for 10 years, then whatever benefits you are vetted to get, you can get that or whatever. And so they waited to be 10 years and 1 day.
Right.
And, now that they're not coupled with their wife any longer, he is extremely happy.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. So
Sometimes to be like that.
He had to do 10 years in a day to be happy, but that's sad.
That is sad.
Right? That is sad.
So you lost 10 years to to be
of
happy.
life that you could have been happy. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You could have been happy, and that's what I'm saying. That's the issue again. Relationships, where what are we in it for? You know, he was in it for 10 years a day, and whatever that came with. You
He
know,
seemed like he was in
whatever
it for
stability,
benefits.
whatever stability that came with.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it took 10 years for him to be himself, and that's it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that got to be tough, where you couldn't even be who
You
you
said
are.
a jail sentence.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it just like a jail sentence, you're in there, you're doing time, doing things you don't want to do, you know, or may not, or just doing things that are satisfying your needs at the, you know, at the lowest level
The bare
possible.
minimum. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
all right. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Put your leg there. Wonderful. You know.
Low
Yeah.
vibrations.
Low
That's
vibrations. I'm sure there was some other dip outs or something possibly, but that was the story and the narrative that was shared. Like, I knew I had to wait 10 years. I waited 10 years and a day before I could request the separation and divorce, and was happily prepared to go and do the whole process, not considering her grieving process.
1 month dip out.
Wow.
Every month.
All right. I'm wrapping this up because we're gonna keep going.
All right.
It's been a great sip and chat talking about relationship roles. Daryl, why are you looking at me like that?
Huh?
You agree, or you still want to keep talking about roles and relationships?
We're good. No, we're good.
Okay. You can catch us any Friday night at 8 o'clock is when we start. I'm surprised Daryl didn't get on people who decided to show up after 8 o'clock. He shared some love and grace this evening. But thank you always for joining and engaging in the conversation. And we look forward to seeing you next week with the little wave.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Neil.
Good night.
Tell Mom Ruth I said hi.
Yes, tell Mom Ruth hi, and yes, prayers is out. Prayers is out.
Yes.